Anthony Richardson, and you're listening to RosterWatch.
This is AJ Brown, and you're listening to RosterWatch.
This is Josh Allen, and you're listening to RosterWatch.
RosterWatch Nation, what is up? And welcome to the Week 9 Start or Sit show here on the RosterWatch YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, all the places. I'm Cody Carpentier. Appreciate you for tapping and locking in this morning. A beautiful Week 9 as November has crested upon us. And so has Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was activated this morning for the Kansas City Chiefs. And it looks like he's going to play this afternoon against the Buffalo Bills. Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes out of left field to potentially bury our Brashard Smith dreams. At one time, people will remember, Clyde Edwards-Helaire played a pretty substantial role in a Buffalo Bill Kansas City Chief game. It happened to be the last time that Patrick Mahomes beat the Bills in the regular season. Was the first time that Allen and Mahomes played back in 2020. They've played, this will be the 10th time. That game was in Buffalo. Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 26 carries, 161 yards on the ground, 4 receptions in that game. Since then, he played them in 2021, 2022, and 2023, and he totaled a disgustingly awesome 85 yards on 27 carries. And he didn't play against them last year, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been out of sight, out of mind until this week when everyone started to get a little bit excited about Brashard Smith. So I've already gotten a couple of questions on RosterWatch.com. If you want to ask a question over at RosterWatch.com, I'm not going to be live long today. I don't know how long my internet's going to hold up. I'm currently in Minnesota. Setup's a little bit different, as you can see. We're going to be here for maybe 25, 30 minutes. We'll see. And then I got to get moving. But if I don't get to your question, I'm going to try to, like I always do, go over to RosterWatch.com, become a pro or a premium member today. Get the Hyper Picks tool. I think the Hyper Picks this week, I think there's 19 picks in there. Is there 19 selections? Let me double check this. There's 19 selections in the RosterWatch Hyper Picks and Picks tool over at RosterWatch.com with a pro membership. With a premium membership, you get the Hyper Picks, I should say. My favorite one this week might just be, outside of Tyler Warren every single week, that number's already went up from 9.5 first quarter receiving yards, so I think 11.5 or 12 first quarter receiving yards. My other favorite is Emmanuel Wilson, though, over 6.5 receiving yards. There's 19 picks up over there. Twice this year, we've been over 70%, 3 times over 60%. We're sitting just under 55% on the season, and we're cooking with peanut oil here in the middle of the season. So it's going to be another big week at RosterWatch.com. But also, you can get the Trash Man's flex rankings, the top 200 flex rankings. You get our Dynasty top 250, and amongst other things, there's a bunch of tools over at RosterWatch.com, including you can go over there to the Start Sit thread, and you can ask questions to us about who do you want to start, who do you want to sit, yada, 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 and we'll get to it. But I got to start with the newest chat, the latest. I'll go back to the top, but we have to remember it's potentially a happy Travion day. Potentially. As long as Terrell Jennings or what was the other running back that the Patriots had on the practice squad this week? As long as one of these guys is not activated in the next couple hours, we should be in for the first, and I say the first, Travion Henderson big week of the year. Rushan Baker was the name I was looking for, 5'11", 218 pounds out of Elon. We'll see if he potentially gets activated. I think they would have had to done that already. But Travion Henderson week, baby. We'll see what happens. Kip, appreciate you jumping in the chat. Back to the top here. Jan Sawicki, good morning, Cody. Full PPR looking for flex. Diggs, Pitts, Harvey, or Parker Washington or Horton, depending on Fab results. So it sounds like you're still waiting on Fab results this morning. This question came in about 20 minutes ago. Jan, always appreciate you hopping into the chat in the mornings on Sunday. Diggs, Pitts, Harvey, or Parker Washington for me. Torrey Horton, I love Torrey, but he's not in this conversation quite for me. I like Harvey. Really, this thing comes down to me is Pitts and Washington. And I think Washington's going to be in a role this week in Jacksonville with no Travis Hunter and a banged-up Brian Thomas, where he's going to be in an 8 to 10 target situation in Jacksonville. So I'm going to go Parker Washington this week. Jan also says half PPR flex spot in a 50-50 battle Spears, Downs, Debo, or Horton. Worried about Debo. Looked like a decoy last week. I think that's going to be a week in and week out. That's just what Debo's role is. It's week in and week out. You never know what it's going to be. They also were working on just getting healthy last week. So that's kind of another big problem that just kind of comes with the territory in Washington with Jaden Daniels, and they still don't even know how to use Bill. That's the biggest problem. They still don't know how to use potentially their best healthy weapon currently. Dealing with the Terry McLaurin injuries and stuff has made it a little bit tougher. I just went and closed like 6 tabs. Let me get back here. So is Spears, Downs, Debo, and Torrey Horton. I have Downs ranked the highest this week amongst all these guys. I don't feel elite about it. Pittman's big role in this offense when he's healthy. Tyler Warren, obviously, and then Jonathan Taylor. This is a great matchup for the run game against Pittsburgh. But I still like Downs to get his 4 to 6 targets in this game. Again, you're not looking at your wide receiver 1 or 2 here. You're looking at a flex spot. The most dependable, I think, out of this group right now is Downs. Kip C says, oops, Kip, I almost blocked you on accident. That would not have been good. I am fully prepared for some true cockamamie shenanigans today. Some real trashy touchdowns are incoming. Well, I'll tell you what I'm prepared for. I'm prepared for something I didn't expect. I mean, look at the top 12 running backs in our rankings this week. Personally, like seeing Javonte in there, sure, caught me by surprise. Getting Kyle Monangai and Tyron Tracy into like running back 11, 12, like back end RB1 in the rankings is bizarre. Tyler, this is the RB2 category. Kimani Vidal is in here. Rico Dowdle is in here. Bam Knight, Kareem Hunt, Woody Marks, Tyjae Spears is just on the outside looking in. Jalen Warren. These are some of the names we're looking at we're in week 9. We're halfway through the season. And there's guys like Alvin Kamara after them, Chuba Hubbard after, Tony Pollard after, Travis Etienne after in the rankings. I think that's kind of bizarre, but that's just kind of where we're at right now. And that's just at the running back position. You talked about some bizarre touchdowns that could happen today. There's a lot of wide receiver rooms that have more opportunities, like a De'Ami Brown potentially, things like this in Jacksonville that I think are rearing their head with the injuries that are happening there, coming off of buys, and Tim Patrick is out, and there's a lot going on in a lot of different places. So I think that warrants Kip C. You can put together some pretty nasty prize pick slips if you want to go down the touchdown route. Jan says, thanks. Made switch last week with your help. Survivor pick. Yeah, I was thinking about you. I will say Chicago over Cincinnati, Detroit over Minnesota, Seattle over Washington, or Dallas over Arizona. Can only pick team to win once and pick against a team once, which adds to it. I don't think you'll pick Minnesota down the stretch. Chicago and Cincinnati is tough because I don't believe in Chicago. I think with the injuries, it's 50-50 right now, so I tend to stay away from that game. Seattle, Washington is also a really good game. Dallas, to me, is a hit or miss. Jacoby Brissett playing for Arizona hurts me. I lean Detroit. Because this is not against the spread. This is just winning outright. And the only 3 times Kevin O'Connell has played in Detroit, Minnesota has lost by 10, 11, and 20. And they're 8.5-point dogs. And J.J. McCarthy, the last time he played, obviously, the last time he started was that Chicago game. I think Detroit is in a great spot today. Minnesota's got a healthier offensive line. But I would say as a survivor pick, I would feel best with those options of taking Detroit over Minnesota. JB, Tedero McMillan, Xavier Worthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, pick 2, please, in PPR, aka like we like to say, bench 1. So we're benching either one of Tedero, Worthy, or Wan'Dale. I'm not benching Tedero, so let me check where Worthy and Wan'Dale are for us as a consensus. Worthy's probably going to be Alex's running back, wide receiver 1 overall. Just kidding, Alex. I know you're listening. I'm just teasing. Wan'Dale is our consensus 25. He's 7 spots higher than Worthy is this week. I like that. I have Wan'Dale considerably higher than that. Yeah, I'm all in on Wan'Dale there. I like that. Good question. Great question, JB. He also says Jaden Daniels or Jackson Dart. I had a similar question like this on RosterWatch.com this morning. Jaden Daniels or Dart. So they're actually really close overall, about 6 spots apart. I guess that's not really close in quarterback conversations, but Daniels is ranked higher as a consensus. The model has them back to back. That's interesting. That's interesting. But yeah, Daniels is still ahead. I think the question I had over on Roster Watch was, let me see if I can pull it up. It was like a number of quarterbacks. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Because I thought it was interesting. That's why. So this guy, Big Man Mike, over on RosterWatch.com. Shout out to Big Man Mike. He's in every single week. This is in full PPR, 6-point passing touchdown, 1-point completion. Knicks. He has Knicks, but the available players on the waiver right now are Darnold, Brissett, obviously, and then Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, and Dart. And we have Caleb Williams and Dart ranked higher than Knicks. I don't know why I brought that one up. I think that was more so because you said Dart, because I think Dart's kind of in a spot right now where people aren't like, so I'm not going to play Dart, but Dart's actually a decent play this week. Great question, JB. Dylan Fink says, let's see, where do we go here? Screen just went. Sometimes the screen, I don't know. Dylan Fink says, morning, let's have a day. Let's have a damn day, brother. Full PPR, one flex. We got Higgins or Kraft. He also has Warren at tight end, leaning Kraft. Flacco's shoulder worries me. Chase, 1 billion targets, literally one every 90 seconds of gameplay. Projected to be a close matchup with opponent. I lean Kraft. I think this Watson thing, to me, was going to open up the underneath for a guy like Golden. And really what it's done is it's opened up the underneath for a guy like Tucker Kraft. I like Tucker Kraft over Higgins. Again, I've never been the biggest Higgins guy. Kraft is a top 10 matchup this week against Carolina. We are consensus tight end 3 this week. Whereas if you look at Higgins is going to be, good matchup, but consensus, there's no consensus. The model doesn't love him as much as Alex and Trashman do. I'm middling. Like, we're just all wishy-washy across the board. This game should unfold well, but what happens if Flacco is pulled mid first quarter because of this shoulder? I'm not as the only one I really trust in this whole game is Chase, because I think no matter who the quarterback is, he's going to get his targets. So I would lean Kraft here. I love Kraft. Lifelong Longhorn says, I have Purdy and Murray. Neither are playing today. I have Flacco starting currently. My IR spot is filled already. Is it worth dropping him and picking up Brissett to start today instead? Oh, woof. I don't think that's a terrible theory. I don't love that, though. I don't love the idea, because I mean, such a juicy matchup. Only because the back end of that last answer that I gave to Dylan was about the idea that Flacco could potentially get burnt and out in the first quarter if the shoulder. I mean, again, the guy's over 40 years old. Like, his shoulder could just be like, yo, I'm tired, like at the end of the first quarter, and he doesn't got much left in the tank. We don't know. This is really tight. I kind of want to go get Brissett. I have Brissett one spot higher than Flacco in the rankings this week. You're in Dallas. I think I'm just going to lean with my rank. My rank is Brissett 19, Flacco 20. I'm going to say go get Brissett. You have Kyler Murray. You're probably going to get Purdy back, and hopefully the next week, 2-3 weeks. You're probably going to get Murray back next week. But if Brissett has a big game, like we know he can go for 303 today, and they're going to have a problem. I have a friend in Charleston where I live that is a big Cardinal fan, and he's like, we don't even want Kyler. We want Brissett to be the quarterback. So, which I think is bizarre, but hey, it is what it is. Lifelong Longhorn, go get Brissett. I'm okay setting Flacco down. Go get Brissett. Kip says, I also have Flacco and Brissett issue. What is going on? Flacco and Brissett is the big question of the day. I have Flacco Brissett issue and have went back and forth all morning. Let's go Brissett, brother. I like the Brissett side of this thing. You either get to go, you get an outdoor game with Joe Flacco against Chicago in Cincinnati, banged up shoulder. This offensive line, is this really what we're going to hinge our trust into? Is this offensive line protecting Joe Flacco? Or do we go Brissett indoors in Dallas in a potential, shootout situation? Or best case scenario, they're down 35-21 and they got to throw the ball every single play. So let's go Brissett, man. I like the Brissett side of this conversation. I got him ranked one spot higher. I'm going to lean into it. Mike East is pick 2 PPR, Henderson, Dowdle, Montgomery, Hunt, a.k.a. Bench 2. Henderson, Dowdle, Montgomery, Hunt. I love Dowdle. We've bumped up Dowdle aggressively since the Friday show that we talked about Dowdle on. The rest of this is Henderson, Hunt, Montgomery. I think these guys are going to be – I got to double-check the rankings. I think Henderson, Montgomery, and Dowdle – no, sorry, Hunt. So, yeah, so Montgomery's 20, Hunt's 22, Henderson's 23. We have Montgomery as the highest-ranked running back of this trio. So we're going to go Montgomery. Let's go Montgomery and Dowdle. If you're looking for upside – I'll give you the pass, Mike. If you're projected to lose by like 25 or something, like, and you're like, this guy's got McCaffrey and yada yada yada, I'll give permission. You play Henderson over Montgomery. I think that's close enough where we believe that there is enough upside in the Henderson side of the conversation to put him in there. But I think if you're just going on trust, I think it's Dowdle and Montgomery. Lifelong says Flacco's AC injury scares me. Yep, same. Flacco isn't young and one hit from being out. Same conversation we just had. Morning, do you like Knight or Emmanuel Wilson? We got to go Knight. Took the Emmanuel Wilson receiving over 6.5 receiving yards, but we got to go with Knight as an overall fantasy play. Gooner Boy, I want to start Uncle Rico, Etienne, Henderson, and Kyle Manangai. Would you sit any one of them for Diggs in half PPR? Negative, Ghost Rider. I'm a Butte guy for the Patriots, so I'm not on the Diggs side of the conversation. So we're going to go Rico, Uncle Rico, Etienne, Henderson, and Kyle Monangai. Kip C says, happy Travion Day from the rip. Stephen Greaves, good morning. Need help picking my second running back spot and my second flex spot in full PPR matchup this week. Deciding between Bam Knight, Uncle Rico, Jordan Addison, Ken Walker, DJ Moore with 1-0, and Dobbs. So, second flex spot. No, we need a second running back and a second flex spot. Well, to me, this is immediately a Rico situation. We're going Rico off the rip for that second running back spot. And then for the second flex spot, for me, it comes down to DJ Moore and Bam Knight. Let me check with the Trash Man's flex rankings. I don't have them up. I should have them up already. Where do they go? There they are. Right, one sec. So we're going DJ Moore, who got cleared at a full practice. DJ Moore, and I want to go Bam Knight. So Moore 72, and he's got Knight 51. So he likes Knight more. I don't trust Ken Walker. More so, I just don't trust Seattle. I don't trust Dobbs. Addison's mild. I guess I can see where he's got Addison. He likes Addison not as much as Zonovan Knight. Also, for the record, Ken Walker's 53 right behind Zonovan Knight. So I think Zonovan's the play here. Yeah, so Rico and Zonovan, those are your two plays. Running back and flex. Mojo in the building. What's up, brother? Appreciate you for tapping in this morning. We had a bunch of chats that just came in. I got to put this thing into second gear. We're 19 minutes deep. Appreciate you guys. Click that like button. Click subscribe if you're here live on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, retweet this thing. Click that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. We're here on Mondays for the Top 10 Thoughts Show, on Tuesdays for the Waiver Wire, on Friday with the preview show going into the weekend every single week. Week 10. So 1 week from today, there will be no live show. You made it 19 minutes in. You're a weekly contributor. You're a weekly listener. You're a weekly watcher to the RosterWatch Start Sit Show. I appreciate you guys. There will be no show in week 10. We'll be back in week 11. Week 10, I'll be on the road. I might be in Vegas. I might not be. I might be on an airplane. I'm not sure. There'll be no show in week 10 live on RosterWatch YouTube channel or X. You got to go over to RosterWatch.com, and you can ask all your questions in the thread. You go over there. The thread will say, RosterWatch Week 10 Start Sit thread. You click on it. You scroll to the bottom, and you can write a question in. It's simple as that, and we will reply just like that. There'll be no show in Week 10. Again, appreciate you guys for locking in every single week. All right, let's get back to where we were. A lot of questions today. Mojo says Sutton, Franklin, Butte, Pittman, and Dyke. DK. I don't know why I always say Dyke. Need to start 2 wide receivers in standard. I like Butte and Pittman. I like Butte and Pittman, Mojo. Appreciate you. Gooner Boy says Woody Marks or Ken Walker in half. Woody Marks or Ken Walker in half. I know I have Woody. I just moved Woody Marks up this morning, and I got him 24th overall. Ken Walker 34th overall. As a consensus, we're literally back to back. I like Woody Marks, though, this morning. S. Great handle. S. Hi, bro. Start Franklin, Washington, or A Manor. I already have Sutton in my lineup in half PPR. I like Parker Washington today. Best of luck, S. Appreciate you, brother. Jared Beeson says Brashard Smith or Tootin in Dynasty. I want to stash one who has a better chance of taking over if the job presents itself. Well, I suggest you go first off, listen to the Sonic Truth Dynasty podcast from Thursday. It's going to be over on the Player Profiler Network YouTube channel and podcast. I did it with Matt Kelly. We did our one midseason update Dynasty show, and the whole second half of that show, we talked about rookie running backs, second-year running backs, guys that will have roles, just this exact conversation in a deeper conversation for about 45 minutes. And Brashard Smith's name came up, Tootin's name came up. The whole genesis of my last take on that show was Brashard Smith. There's opportunity in Kansas City. Hollywood Brown's going to be gone. There's a situation where Travis Kelce retires. Worthy's there as the number 2 wide receiver option behind Rashee Rice. Rashee Rice is going to be the guy for the next 5-6 years, it feels like right now. Kareem Hunt could be out. Pacheco seems like he's on the outs. He's going to be there probably, but he doesn't seem like he's the first in line of trust. Brashard Smith, in a world, because of how down the 2026 NFL draft class is outside of the top 2 guys, it drops off quick. This last year was deep. The year before that was fine, but it was mild. This class, 2 big dogs, and it drops off quick. Brashard Smith is going to be an opportunity where he's going to be the number 1 or the number 2 coming in next year. I love Brashard Smith. I also like Tootin. Tootin's dynamism has given him an opportunity. He's attached to this team. Liam Cohen, this front office, I think they like him, but I would lean Brashard Smith closely, but I do suggest going over listening to the Sonic Truth Dynasty podcast from this week. The second half of that show was all this conversation. Nick, pick 2, PPR, Woody Marks, Kamara, Bill, Jennings, Jacoby Myers, Jamison Williams, pick 2. I like Bill and Juwan this week. Bill and Juwan Jennings this week, Nick. Appreciate the question. Steve, Flacco or Brissett? Brissett, we talked about this 6 minutes ago. If you want to scroll back and listen to the conversation. George, I meant Spears or Emmanuel Wilson. Sorry. Did I misunderstand a question from before? Let me scroll back up. George. Morning, Cody. Do you like Knight or Wilson? Oh, yeah. So I picked Knight. So the new question was Spears or Wilson. Spears or Wilson is obviously going to be a little bit tighter. I was going to say that was a little bit of a. All right, let me see where Spears and Wilson. Spears is going to be still ranked, I think, considerably higher than Wilson. I like Wilson, but I don't like him that much. Spears is a high-end RB3 conversation. Wilson's a high-end 4. So I'm going to go with Spears today in this one. All right. Mando says start 2 running backs, Bam, Henderson, Kareem, Woody Marks, or Spears. I'm going to go Bam and Henderson. I want to go Woody Marks a little bit, but I'm going to go Bam and Henderson. Dre says, hey, Cody, half PPR Charbonnet or Woody Marks? I think they're going to be really close in the rankings. I want to go Woody. I think they're back-to-back. I trust Charbonnet more in Seattle than I do Ken Walker because they are giving him the opportunities. They seem to trust Charbonnet a little bit more than Ken Walker. Not that I prefer that, but it's just the path it's going. We as a consensus are about 2 spots apart on Charbonnet and Woody Marks. We like Woody Marks. We're going to go Woody Marks here. The only one that likes Charbonnet ahead is the projection. The projection's a touch, like it's a touch, 2 spots higher. So it's a really tight one this week. Going to go Woody, though. Good question, Dre. Great chat of the day right there. Charbonnet or Woody, that's a tight one. Colorado Straight Flush. Great name. Morning. I don't know anything about Shaheed's injury. I need to know if I can start him over. Oh, God. Where'd the screen go? Over Keon Coleman. Thanks in advance. Rashid Shaheed on if you will play today. So they play at the 4:05 window, so it's a later kick, and then you have Keon Coleman as your other option. Coleman kicks off at 4:25, so we'll know inactives and actives before we get to that point. The current outlook for Rashid Shaheed, I think he's going to play. He's been limited all week with the hip injury. That's not great, obviously. If you wanted to see him get that full practice in on Friday, that's kind of the key cornerstone of that answer. I personally just like the Keon Coleman factor a little bit more. I think like the general public's going to believe in Shaheed. Let me look at the rankings. Actually, I don't know. I'm Coleman. That's where I'm at. Let me see where the guys are at. Coleman versus Shaheed. It looks like they're. I don't like that. It's pretty kind of a clean. I mean, outside of me, it's a clean sweep towards Shaheed. I could be wrong. I like Coleman. It's a consensus. Model projections, Alex, Trashman, like Shaheed. I got Coleman. I'm going to stand on the Coleman side. I like Coleman in this game. I like Shakira in this game too, but I'm going to go Coleman. Best of luck, Colorado Straight Flush. Great name. Juan Pena, who for my wide receiver 2, 3, and flex. So that means we need 3 guys. 2 have to be receivers. Debo, DK, Addison, Butte, Johnston. Running back is Charbonnet, Krosky, Merritt, Henderson. Tight end is Ertz, Kittle, Adams. Ertz. Kittle got, oh God dang it. Kittle got Adams, wide receiver 1, Jacobs, and Taylor, running back 1 and 2. So do you have a tight? I mean, I'm assuming one of these tight ends is already in your lineup. So wide receiver 2 and flex. I'm going Butte. I'm going Henderson. And I need to check on the. Let me check with Trashman quick. I don't do good. I'm just going to say, if it's not obvious, I don't do good with the positional. Just say I need like 3 of this, whatever. I think I like that. I like that. I like Butte. I like Bill. And I like Henderson. Butte, Bill, and Henderson. That's where the rankings are going to go this week. Butte, Bill, and Henderson. Juan Pena, appreciate you, brother. Always, every single week coming in here. Sorry, I didn't have as elite of an answer on that one as I usually try to get around to. S says start Franklin, Parker, or A Manor. I already have Sutton. I already answered that one. Parker, Washington. What's up, man? Having a hard time between Jags and Green Bay's defense, and would go Woody or DJ flex full PPR. Jags or Green Bay's defense. I like Green Bay's defense today, personally, against the Panthers. Like I get the Jags thing, but you also got the Raiders coming off a bye. You got the rookie, rookie dead cat bounce with Ashton Genty. We could get a big game out of Genty against the Jags this week. I don't like that. So I'm going to go ahead and ride with the Packers defense and then Woody Marks. Kipsy, I think Montgomery is minus odds for a touchdown, but I like him today. He's not went 3 games without a touchdown in Detroit, currently on a 2-game drought. Hey, stats don't lie, brother. Trends lie. Stats don't lie. Trends don't lie. So I like that. I'm gonna write that down. Montgomery, anytime touchdown. This pen does not work. Mom, meatloaf. Montgomery, anytime touchdown. Dunze or Adams. That one's going to be a little bit tighter. Dunze is going to be our receiver 11. Adams is 8. Devin Dana, DJ Moore or Worthy. I like DJ Moore. Him and Dunze in that receiver room together with a lot of injuries. Julian says, hey, for running back 2 in PPR, who do I start? Kamara, Charbonnet, Tyja, or Brashard Smith? I'm going Kamara today. I haven't said Kamara's name a lot today. I feel like he's been brought up a few times. Haven't said his name a lot. Him and Charbonnet are close. But I'm going to go ahead and ride with Kamara. DK, Aaron Jones, Trey Tucker, pick 2, full PPR. DK, Aaron Jones, and Trey Tucker. The Chim DK thing has been rising week after week after week after week. He's continued to get more opportunities, and he's doing more with it. The weird thing is here, I like Aaron Jones this week. The first game he played this year with J.J. McCarthy was obviously week 1 against Chicago. He utilized him out of the backfield quite a bit. Aaron Jones has notoriously done well against the Detroit Lions in Detroit. I like Jones. I like Trey Tucker this week. Not as high on DK. Sco 2, start Franklin, Amen, or Parker Washington. Already, it's the second time we got that same question. Or third time. I like Parker. Let me see if there's any supers. We're good. Ton of questions today. Appreciate you guys all hopping in on this beautiful week 9. Rodgers or Flacco? Rodgers. Start 2. I'm going to go rapid fire here for a minute. We got to get through some of these questions. I got to get moving. Start 2. Rome, Tet, or Travion? Rome. Full PPR, Henderson, Diggs, or BTJ? We're going BTJ. Flex, Dowdle or Sutton? Dowdle. Tet or Olave? Tet. Jose, appreciate you, brother. Shakir, Allen, DK, or Slayton? We're going Shakir and Allen. Lifelong Longhorn says, love it. I'm getting Brissett. Scared money don't make money. You damn right it don't. BTJ or Henderson in half. I'm going to go Henderson. Ashton Levy in my flex spot. Who do I start? Bam Knight, Tet, Xavier Worthy. Choose one. Bam Knight, Tet, Xavier Worthy. Choose one. PPR flex spot. I like Bam Knight. Kip C, we're in it together, brother. Got a bench one from Joseph Testa. Pittman, Odunze, or Pickens. Who we benching? Oofta. I'm playing Odunze. Let me check on Pittman and Pickens. That's tough because I like both this week quite a bit. Yeah. Pittman's got a juicy matchup. Pickens is top 10 this week for us. I'm gonna bench Pickens, and I don't even want to say it out loud. I'm gonna bench Pickens. We're gonna play Odunze and Pittman. Big Meech, brother, what's going on? Henderson, Gadsden, or Chase Brown? Pick one in half PPR. I trust Gadsden the most out of these three guys. Gavin says Chase Brown or Olave at flex. Chase Brown. Charbonnet or Michael Carter or Watson in half PPR. I like Watson. Kip C, let's do it, brother. Brissett or bust. I love hearing it. This is going to be a big. I should put Jacoby Brissett on the cover of the show. Start 1 PPR, Tedero, McMillan, Higgins, or Gadsden. I like Tedero, McMillan. Big Meech says T-Law, Brissett, or Rodgers. This is going to be either a T-Law or Rodgers, I want to say. T-Law is 14, Rodgers is 20. I guess I was Brissett's ahead of Rodgers by a touch overall. That's our overall consensus. I got Rodgers ahead of Brissett. But T-Law is going to be the answer for this one this week. Again, we're looking at a good matchup against Vegas. I think this is going to be a good game. Sneaky shootout game in Las Vegas. Where were we at? Darnold or Brissett? What did I just said? They're back-to-back. Darnold by a speck. Darnold by a touch. 17.2 to 18. That's where they are ranked. Brian B, why don't you go in order? Weird. Brian B, literally going in order, top to bottom. Literally, Brian. This is not your first time on the show. I know or recognize the name. I literally go in order. First question to last question. Thank you, though, brother. Thanks. Big Meech, Flacco or Knicks? Going Knicks. Cooper. You got a double name like that? Is your name Cooper? That'd be a bizarre name. Start 2, tiered PPR. Monangai, Hunt, Debo, Diggs. Monangai is number 1. Number 2 is going to be either Hunt or, let me look. Let me check Trash Man. Hunt, 63. Diggs, 47. Debo, 50. He likes Diggs the most. We're going to go Diggs and Monangai. Kevin DeBoard, Bam or Monangai? Monangai. Whoever you don't choose, Gadsden or the one you don't choose, Pierce or Watson. Gadsden and Monangai for me. France, great question, Kevin DeBoard. I like how you laid that out. Go Dodgers, he says. Kevin DeBoard, have a great day, brother. If you're a Dodgers fan, congratulations on another title. You don't deserve it. I'm just kidding. France, need a defense. It's a tough pickings. Giants against San Fran, Raiders against the Jags, Niners against the Giants. So you have both options. The Giants and the Niners are options this week. I don't love any of those. If I had to pick one, it would be San Fran against the Giants. Best of luck, France. Appreciate you, brother. Fantasy Burner, PPR, Hunter Henry, bad matchup, or pivot to Loveland or Theo Johnson. I don't mind Loveland. I don't mind Loveland. Let me see. I definitely don't have Theo ranked as aggressive. I moved Loveland up a couple times this week. Loveland's got a number one matchup in the sport right now at tight end. Yeah, I have Loveland ranked ahead of Theo. Loveland's only a spot behind Hunter Henry. I don't mind that. I don't mind playing Loveland over Hunter Henry. I gave the question earlier the question of the day. Fantasy Burner, I think this is a great question because I think this is a move you can make. Loveland's got the number one matchup in the RosterWatch matchup tool for tight ends. I like this. I'm going to go ahead and move Loveland right now ahead of Hunter Henry and Juwan Johnson. So he's going to be my tight end 13 this week. Great question. Appreciate you, brother. Ernie Torres, Wershing, Travion, Chuba, Shaheed, or Kraft at flex. I like Kraft in this. Dowdle's going to get the workload. I'm not fully in on the Travion thing. I want to see it. I kind of trust it, but I kind of want to see it. Shaheed's banged up. I like Kraft. Cody, what's up, dog? Ruckus, how you doing, brother? Full PPR, pick one. Wandale, P-Dub, and Trey Tucker. I think Parker and P-Dub are going to be within 3 in our rankings right now. Maybe not. Am I that? Do we? Where's Wandale? Are my eyes playing games on me? No, man, we're aggressively ahead on Wandale Robinson compared to Parker Washington. I guess it's just me. Oh my gosh, I might be way out of my skis on P-Dub. I got these guys 2 spots apart. As a consensus, we're about 25 spots apart. I love Parker Washington. I have him as a back-end wide receiver 2 this week with Wandale Robinson. As a consensus, I guess the projections, the models, the rankings, everybody else disagrees with me. Maybe I'm wrong. I think I take Parker. I'm taking Parker. Right next to Wanda, right there. I like that. So, it's pick 1. Okay, so no, we got to go Wandale. Wandale's 2 spots ahead of Parker. As much as I love Parker, Wandale's 2 spots ahead of him. So we got to go Wandale. Great question, Ruckus. Daniels or Indiana Jones at the quarterback position? Daniels or Indiana Jones? Back-to-back in the rankings this week. I like Daniel Jones. Joe Justice, full PPR, Travion or Woody Marks, running back 2. I like Henderson. They're back and forth. I like Henderson. Caleb Williams, Brissett or Sam Darnold? Similar question to what I brought up earlier in the options that you have. Caleb Williams, Sam Darnold, or Brissett? I'm going Caleb Williams. We have Caleb, consensus 10th over. Everyone has him at 10. Treshman has him at 9, so he's pretty consensus up there at QB1. Flacco playing today. Hell yeah, brother. Today, QB. Let's see here. Oh, we got a super chat. Cash Money, I see you. I'm coming for it right now. One sec. Where did the last question go? Darnold, Dart, Goff. Dart is our. Wait, no, sorry. Goff's the highest ranked by 1 spot, just ahead of Dart. We'll go Goff, and then Sutton Jennings or DJ Moore. I like Jennings. Samuel Castillo. All right, Kip, we'll get right back to where you were at, but we got to hit the super chat quick. Cash Money, $2 Cash Money. Flex, Diggs or Higgins for also, I'm going to say, I assume this is also tight end Theo or Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson, both are in tough matchups this week. Juwan Johnson and Theo are. Theo is going to be a little bit further down for us as a consensus, and Juwan Johnson is going to be our tight end 15. We like them both. Looks like consensus, the model and the projections are pushing Theo over Juwan Johnson. I have Juwan ahead, but the projection and model are both pushing him past. So we'll go Theo Johnson at tight end. And their question was Diggs and T. Higgins at wide receiver. Diggs, I'm not sure he's quite up that high as T. Higgins. Let's look here. Higgins get the number 7 overall matchup in RosterWatch matchup tool. Diggs is the 24th. I have Higgins ahead. Trashman has Higgins ahead. Alex has Higgins ahead. The model likes Diggs a little bit more. So do the projections. But Alex, I, and Trashman love us some Higgins this week in this conversation. Appreciate you for the super chat, brother. All right, let's get back up to where Kip C was at. The Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams debate is going to be fire. I don't think it's going to be much of a debate, but I understand where you're coming from. Ryan Williams is going to be great, but Jeremiah Smith is an alien. I hope Cam Coleman gets up to that conversation by the time draft rolls around 2027. JMO or Jawan? I like JMO. Applied Literature. Appreciate you hopping in this morning again, brother. Thank you. AJ, PPR tight end premium. Golden, Kirk, Roman, Henry. This might surprise people. I like Roman Wilson quite a bit. But in the rankings, I don't think our consensus is going to agree. Trashman did take a Roman Wilson prop this week. If you go over and check the RosterWatch Hyper Pick tool. All right, let me go back here. Too many tabs. Golden and Kirk are the other options here. Golden. This is bad. I like Roman. I mean, all these guys are out to the top 50 right now at the position. I'm going to go Roman Wilson today. Until I see more from Golden. It's just going to Kraft and Watson right now. Sorry, need one flex. Oh, you're good, brother. I'm going to go Roman Wilson today. Best of luck, AJ. Thank you. Game Face, pick 2, Worthy, Sutton, Rico Monagai. That's my play. Rico Monagai. Ruckus, the recent Sonic Truth episode was so dope. Great convo on the top 10 Dynasty wide receivers. Ruckus, appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate that. We tried to take the good angle with it. The angle for the show, if everyone hasn't watched the Sonic Truth, was the first about 45 minutes was all top 10, 12, 14 Dynasty wide receivers and how the first part of the season is unfolded. And the second half was all running backs, all next year, 2026. The 2026 draft, 2027 draft, 2025 draft, coupled with the rookies this year, sophomores, all the opportunities that are downwind, like the Monin guys of the world, the Brashard Smiths of the world, the Kamani Vidal situation, the Rico situation. That's all that conversation. So, Ruckus, appreciate you, brother. Game Faces, Theo or Gadsden by a mile for us in the rankings. Scott Arsenal says Mooney or Downs. I'm down with Downs this week. Again, Scott, thank you. Liv, start one of Trey Tucker, Juwan Jennings, or Tony Pollard. Full PPR, tight end 12. Team Mahalos. Oh, Mahalos in advances. Team, I thought that was going to say Massholes, but like Massholes, like Massachusetts. My boy Matty Keelan would like that. But Mahalos in advance. Appreciate you. Great team name. Thank you for attaching your team name. I'm going to go Juwan Jennings this week. When Jennings is in there, Jennings is the guy. It's McCaffrey, it's Jennings, then it's Kittle. Jennings is in. I like Jennings this week ahead of Pollard and Tucker. Pollard is on my shit list right now, as you could say. Thank you for your help, homie. I'm going to go listen to that Dynasty podcast you just recommended, Jerry Beeson. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let me know what you think. Like, drop a comment on that show. Like, post on X, whatever. Let me know what you think of the show. Appreciate you, brother, for tapping and checking it out. Jennings or Slayton today from Mike Schlesinger. We're going to go Jennings today. Olave or Tet in standard. I like Tet in standard today. All right. A couple more. I got to get out of here. Got to get on the road here in a minute. I'm going to go rapid fire. We'll get out of here. Williams or Henderson running back. If that's Javonte, I like Javonte. We'll go Javonte. Terry M says start 2 PPR. Monagai, Warren, Tracy, Henderson, or MHJ. Monagai and Warren, dude, they're all actually Monagai, Warren, and Tracy are all top 13 running backs this week for us. The rankings literally go like this. Warren, Monagai, Tracy. That's our top. That's running back 12, 14, and 15. So, and in order, it's Warren, then Monagai, then Tracy. So those are your 2. I'd say Warren and then Monagai. Warner Bet. Battle of the Browns. Diami, Marquise need to start one at wide receiver 3. I know it's gross. I trust Diami. in that role in Jacksonville. I think the Hollywood thing for the time being with Rashi there and what this running back is unfolding like with injuries and I think this is Hollywood Brown's taking a big step back. RMT need one to pair with Drake May in 2 QB, Brissett or Flacco. Brissett. Appreciate you, brother. We've talked about it a little bit on the show, but we're going to go Brissett. All right, let me check through here. We're almost caught up, and we're going to be Gucci. We're going to get out. Brian B., I'm first. Where's your question, Brian? Thanks for answering, brother Joseph Testa. Appreciate you. Thank you. Clay Tunga says, start Johnston, Butte, or Jameson. I like Butte. What up, White Horse? G says. What's up, brother? How we doing? How we doing, brother? Adam Lovett. ETN, Chase Brown, or Monangai. Disco Stu BC says, good morning. Please pick 2, Warren, Vidal, Travion. Warren and Vidal very close in the rankings this morning, but like I said before, Warren is running back 11. Vidal is running back 12. So there's your answer. Warren and Vidal, bench Travion. Brady says, De'Ami Brown, Keon Coleman, Kendrick Bourne. I like Keon Coleman here. Mike Schlesinger says, Jennings or Slayton, Henderson or Javante. We're going Jennings and Javante. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tapping in as always. Mile High Minute, Pickens, Nico or Debo? Nico. Nico's in. I like Nico. Sertan, no go. I like Nico. Vidal or Monangai? We just talked about this in we've talked about a bulk of these names, whether it's Tracy, Monangai, Warren, Vidal. Now I just named them all and I forgot which question you asked. Monangai or Vidal, France says. Monangai, like I said, is 14. Vidal is 12. So we're going to go Vidal. May or Herbert at the quarterback position this week. Back-to-back 5 and 6. We like Herbert. Keenan Allen or Sutton? I think Keenan Allen's going to have Sutton beat by... Let me double check. Keenan Allen's 4 spots higher than Sutton, so we like Keenan Allen. You starting DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, or Chim? I like DJ. Ooh, actually, I think J.K. Dobbins. Let me see where Trashman's got. Yeah, he buried DJ a little bit. We like Dobbins. Trashman likes Dobbins as well. Debo or Kittle at flex? Let's check on Trashman again. Debo, 51. Kittle. He likes Kittle by close. The market and analysts. Dude, you got to start Sutton. It's going to be regression to the upper mean, says the market analysts. He likes Sutton this week. I don't think it's a bad play. I don't think Sutton's a bad play. Tough matchup against the Houston defensive backs. So yeah, I have him at wide receiver 33 this week. Debo or Kittle. We just talked about that one. I just popped it up on the screen. Kittle. Jordan Addison, Slayton, Roman Wilson in flex. Slayton projected to win a PPR. I like Slayton. Gadsden or JMO. That's tight. I like Gadsden. Let me see where Trashman has JMO. He has Jameson 15 spots lower than Gadsden as well. So yeah, we're right in line. I like Gadsden. Bam or ETN. I like Bam, full PPR. Rick Dupree says 2/3 PPR. Brashard Smith, Kincaid, or Trey Tucker. I like Trey Tucker today. Best of luck, Rick Dupree. Appreciate you. Good morning. Pick 3 out of 19 names. King Michael Jacko. Diggs, Olave, Allen, BTJ, T-Mac, and Higgins. Pick 3. BTJ, T-Mac, and Keenan Allen. That's easy. Great question, Jacko. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Liv, appreciate you as always for jumping on in. Nehemiah Kivelowitz. I think I got that right. Great name. Love that name. Full PPR, Worthy, Moore, Butte, Shaheed, Moore, and Butte. More Butte. Some would say you like more Butte. We do this week. More Butte. Mile High Minute, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, or Monangai. Jacobs. Banged up, but we still like him this week. Higher than Monangai. Jacobs did get in. Limiteds all week. We like Emmanuel Wilson. We think Jacobs is going to be fine. The Packer game kicks off at noon. The Monagai game kicks off at noon. Javonte kicks off what time? Monday. No, that's a Monday game. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, if Jacobs is inactive, then I think I'm full pivoting to Javonte. That's how the rankings have it. Jacobs is currently, these guys are back to back at 6 right now. They're basically a tie. You might just be safest just waiting on Javonte. Yeah, I think I feel best just waiting on Javonte. Getting a healthy Javonte Williams over banged up Jacobs. Great question, Mile High Minute. Go Javonte. Monday Night Football. Torrey Horton or Keon Coleman. Go Keon Coleman. Against the Chiefs. RMT, thanks, homeboy. Appreciate you as well, brother. Scott Arsenal, need a tight end. Barner, I think you meant to say, or Henry. Barner or Henry. Nobody, people aren't respecting AJ Barner, but he's been on a kind of a tight end touchdown terror, as some would say. I still don't know if I quite can trust him as much as I can with Hunter Henry right now. Number 4 matchup for AJ Barner this week. We got him as, let's see, consensus 21. Henry's consensus. Yeah, we still got to go Henry. Not quite there. If there was no Arroyo, I think I would lean into Barner. Coleman or Bourne? Coleman over Bourne, question mark? What's wrong with that? Coleman's at 41. Bourne is at 46. Bourne's got the number 8 matchup. Coleman's got the number 25 matchup. What am I missing here? Why is that Jay works? What's the problem? You're the best, Cody. Appreciate the grind, France. Appreciate you, brother. You're the grind. You're the best. Appreciate you. Mo says J5 versus Seattle or Dart. I like J5. Jaden Daniels. Brian B says PBR need one. A Manor, McCaffrey. This question has to be Luke McCaffrey. A Manor, Luke McCaffrey, Diami or Horton. I like Diami Brown today, Brian. Great question. Glad you finally got it in. Glad I could finally answer it for you. King Michael Jacko, appreciate you. Thank you, sir. Flex, Olave, Marks, or Smith. I like Woody Marks today. Mo, best of luck, brother. Joseph Marasucci, Kraft and Higgins for Pickens in a trade. I have Kittle and Kraft right now. No deal. No deal. I like Kraft. Gadsden or Brock. Ooh, Gadsden. Look at the world we are in. Gadsden or Brock Bowers. We have Bowers 3 spots higher this week. Coming off a bye. I think he's going to be healthy. Thanks, brother. Just subbed. My High Minute said. Kip C says, the barn door, AJ Barner as the QB sneak is still wild to me. The barn door is kind of a low-key, very sick name. Flacco or Allen at quarterback. Flacco or Allen at quarterback. Flacco or Allen at quarterback. Should I repeat this 10 more times or 2? Scott Arsenal. Thanks, brother. Jorge Gonzalez. Dowdle or Knight? Dowdle, 100%er. Quinton Messenger, Diggs, Sutton, Myers, Ferguson, or Tracy, wide receiver 2 and flex. Sutton is the highest ranked, and Tracy would be my flex. So we're going to go Sutton at wide receiver 2 and Tracy in flex. 53 minutes, 24 more than I expected to do. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Click that like button. Click subscribe on your way out. Roster Watch Nation. No Week 10 show next week, November 9th. Go to RosterWatch.com. Become a pro or premium member today. Get those picks in the HyperPicks tool. Love or Falcon? Love or Falco? Flacco? That's definitely Flacco. Love. We're going love, brother. We're going love because we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for the Start Sit show, but we'll see you tomorrow for the Top 10 Thoughts show on RosterWatch.com.
This is Anthony Richardson, and you're listening to Roster Watch.
This is AJ Brown.